last class? Did you attend the last class, Deepak?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have now we study the calculation of work using graph. So we know the work done is calculated as integration of f dx. So that means if you have graph plotted between x and force, this is function of x, you can say, and this is the graph. So the area, suppose you have to find work done for the displacement from x1 to x2, then this area represents work done. Shaded area represents work done from x1 to x2. Okay. This is how we calculate work done by the force using graphical method. So let's calculate work done using this graph. Suppose we have graph plotted between x and f. This is a graph. Okay. It's in meter or it's in Newton. So 5, 10, 15, 20. And this is 20 Newton. Calculate net work done by the force. What's the work done now? Can you calculate? Let's solve this. We need to find total work done. That means this shaded area. You have to calculate the area of this shaded region, and you can say work done W is equal to shaded area. So work done is equal to, it's a trapezium. So this is half into sum of parallel side. Sum of parallel side, this is one parallel side, means 10 meter, and the other one is this from here to here. It's 20. This is 10 plus 20, or into the separation between parallel sides. So this is equal to 20. So we have work done is equal to 10, means 30 into 10, means 300 joule. This is the work done. Okay. There's one more example. Force in Newton, X in meter. And you have this. So this is 10, 20, 30. Starts from 50 Newton and goes to minus 50. Okay, to calculate net work done by force. Can you solve this, Deepak? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Can you solve this?
No, sir.
So, did you attend all the previous lectures of work and energy?
One lecture I did not attend, sir.
The first one,
Yes, sir.
and the last. I think the last one is the first only. We have only one lecture of work and energy. Did you attend last lecture?
No, sir. No, sir.
Why?
Sir,
Do
I
you
was
know
feeling
one
unwell,
fact?
sir.
Okay, you are unwell. So there is one fact that in your batch, 2 or 3 lectures are cancelled because nobody attended the class. Do you know that?
No, sir.
And even you joined at right time, but when someone joins, most of them joins after 15-20 minutes. They are late all the time. Now, see how we calculate work by energy. Means work done. So one thing you need to know, the area which is above the x-axis is positive work done, and the area which is below this x-axis is negative. So what you need to find is that work done is equal to positive area minus negative area. This is how we calculate. What is positive area? It's a triangle. So half into base. Base is 10 and height is 50. 10 into 50 is equal to, sorry, minus. Negative area is also triangle. So half into base. Base is from 10 to 30 means 20 into height. This height is 50. So you have this 25. So this is 250 minus This is 10, 500. This is minus 250. Joule is the answer. Okay. Now we are going to study some what are some other forces. Okay. Let's see with an example. You have this Atwood machine, and this is 30 kg and this is 10 kg. So calculate work done by, suppose if displacement of blocks is 10 meter, then calculate first mm, then calculate work done of work done by first tension on 10 kg block, second tension on 30 kg, third gravitation on 30 kg, the fourth one gravitation on 20 kg. Do you know how to calculate this? Do you know how to calculate work done, Deepak? Just tell me. Deepak, do you know how to calculate work done?
Yes, sir.
How? Tell me the process.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me the process. How we
Work done is
calculate.
equal to force into displacement.
So yeah. So can you calculate tension in the rope? This is string.
Yes, sir.
What is the value of tension? Just calculate that one. We will calculate the work done step by step so that you will learn in a better way. So first calculate tension for me.
The first one, tension is 100.
Tension is 100. Are you sure? How do you calculate tension? Tension in Atwood machine. It's a Atwood machine. Machine is given as, give me the formula. This is 2 m1 m2g divided by m1 plus m2. So what is the value of tension? It's 2 m1. Mass, suppose 10 kg m1, 10 into this m2 is 30 kg, g is 10 divided by m1 plus m2, 10 plus 30. So we have 2 into 10 into 30 into 10 divided by 40. It is cancelled with 2 times, and this is 15. So tension is equal to 150 Newton. How did you calculate 100 Newton? It is 150 Newton. So the forces acting are, write down all the forces. It's 100 Newton due to gravity here. It's 300 Newton due to gravity here. Tension. Here we have tension. So this is, I have acceleration A and acceleration A upward. Okay. So what you can say, remove the acceleration. It's given that there is a 100-meter displacement. So it will go 100-meter downward, and this one 100-meter upward. Okay. So what we have? First, tension on 10 kg. This is 10 kg. You see the tension and displacement both are in same direction, and the magnitude of tension is 150 Newton. So I can say first, work done by tension on 10 kg is equal to 150 force, and displacement is 10. I written 100. Oh, sorry, it's 10 meter. We have 10 meter in the question. Okay. So 150 into 10. So this is 1500 joule. Now, work done by tension on 30 kg is equal to, the force is 300. Now see, what is the angle? Force is 300, sorry, I am writing wrong. This is 150, and the displacement is downward, and the force is upward. So both are in opposite direction. So the work done is minus 150 or into 10. So this is equal to minus 1500 joule. Okay. Now the third part. Work done by gravity on 30 kg we need to find. 30, the gravity, you see, gravity is downward and the displacement is also downward. So we can say on 30 kg block is equal to 300 into 10, means 3000 joule. Now the fourth one, work done by gravity on 10 kg. So this is the force is you can see here the force is this 100 Newton and the displacement is upward. So both are in opposite direction. So work done will be negative and minus 100 is the force and displacement is 10. So this is minus 1000 joule is the answer. So this is how we calculate. Now we have another example. Suppose this is 10 kg, 5 kg. You have mu is equal to 0.5. Okay. And the force acting, this is smooth, means mu is equal to 0. The force acting is 30 Newton. To calculate or find or calculate the work done by friction on both blocks. Do you know the magnitude of this? The friction force acting on this 5 kg block? So let's see what happens. This is mu is equal to 0. So the force, when the force acts on this 10 kg block, there is a forward force on this 5 kg blocks and a backward force on this 10 kg block. Okay, and we have acceleration A to both of the blocks. So first we will assume that both the blocks move together. Okay, because we don't know about the nature of this friction, it may be more than you can say it may be less than limiting friction or it may be kinetic friction. So it doesn't, we don't know about the nature of this friction. So first I am assuming let both blocks move together. First I will verify are they moving together or not. So acceleration of both block will become net force as 30 by total mass 15. This is 2 meter per second square. Now I'll make 5 kg, a video of 5 kg. This is the friction it's acting and we have acceleration is equal to 2 meter per second square. And one more thing, I'll find FL, limiting friction, which is mu mg. So this is mu is 0.5, m is 5, and this is 10. So 25 Newton. If this friction after in this equation, if this friction comes more than 25, that means it's not valid, and there must be some sliding. So find the value of F is equal to ma. So we have 5 into 2 is 10 Newton. So what is the meaning of this? That means there is no sliding between the blocks, and that means they are moving together, and my assumption is correct. If it had more than 10 Newton value, then it would have slide. Okay, it would have slide on the surface. So that means the magnitude of friction force is this 10 Newton, and it's static friction. Now see, now we need to calculate the frictional force on both blocks. So we have 5 kg. This is a friction, and I have not given you a displacement for 10 meter of displacement, suppose. So displacement is 10 meter and F is 10 Newton. So work done by friction is 10 into 10 means it's 100 meter, 100 joule. Now for 10 kg block, friction is backward and the displacement 100 meter, 10 meter is forward. So work done by friction is equal to, this is 10 Newton. So we have minus 10 into 10 means minus 100 joule. Okay. So we can say, you can see here, the frictional force also does positive work. Never thought that friction only does this negative work, means that is the work done is always dissipated. Sometimes it also does positive work. And the one more concept is that you see here the tension of the work done of tension in both the cases you have same value. One is plus and the second one is negative. It's an internal force. Here we also see work done by friction is plus 100 and minus 100 joule. So there is a concept is that sorry, work done by internal force. Okay, so the concept is that in case of a rigid body, work done by internal force is zero, because the relative position of objects of system doesn't change. Okay, that's why work done in case of, you can say, rigid body. Rigid body, the relative position does not change. For example, if you apply some force, so when you find work done by this normal, this normal is internal force, and when you push it for some distance, you find displacement for both the displacement is same in both the cases. That means work done by, you can say normal. Suppose this is first body and this is second body. So work done by normal on first body is positive. Whatever it has, sorry, its first body is minus W. And similarly, work done by normal on second body is plus W. So when we add both, we will get a zero work done. So this is the concept. But suppose when you released two balls under their own gravity, F1, F2, and there is a displacement of S1 and there is displacement of S2. Motion under own gravity. So what we observe now here work done is F1 S1 plus F plus F2 S2. So this two work done, these two forces are internal forces. Okay. So this is work done is equal to F1 S1 plus F2 S2. Not to why here there is a there is a work done which is not equal to zero in case of internal forces. This is not a rigid system. This is not a rigid system or rigid body because relative position of particles change. You can see the relative position of particles change. That's why it's not a rigid body. Are you getting this, Deepak?
Yes, sir.
Now, there is one more concept, energy. What is energy? Tell me. What is energy? Reply, because you are the only one in this class. So you need to reply this. You know or don't know this, you can say.
It is the capacity to do work.
Yes, you know that. Why? Then why you are not responding? It is the internal capacity. It is the internal capacity to do work. To do work. Okay. So in this section here, there are so many type of work energy. You can, if you start naming them, these are kinetic energy, potential energy, solar energy, nuclear energy, wind energy, you can say ocean wave energy. There are lots of energy in our surrounding. But here in this class, we will stick to two type of work done. Uh, there are two types of mechanical energy. First one is kinetic energy, and second one is potential energy. Okay. Do you know what is kinetic energy?
Yes, sir.
What
Yes,
is
sir.
it?
Sir,
Yeah, what is kinetic energy?
it is a property of moving object.
It is the energy acquired by any moving object. Or you can
Yes,
say
sir.
the energy possessed by any object due to its motion. The
Yes, sir.
energy possessed by any object due to its motion is called kinetic energy. What is the expression of kinetic energy? So, suppose if an object of mass m is moving with velocity v, it has kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Okay, you already know that. So you can say kinetic energy has minimum zero value. It cannot be negative. Means kinetic energy can never be negative. Okay. It is always zero or positive. Okay. Now you know one thing. Kinetic energy can be written as half into m square v square by m as written, or you can write by 2m. mv square by 2m. So mv is momentum, so I'm writing 2m. So kinetic energy means k can be written as p square by 2m. Okay. And one more thing, momentum can also be written as in terms of kinetic energy, that is root under 2m k. Kinetic energy, can you tell me it's a framed, it depends upon observer or not? It's depends upon observer or not? Tell me.
Sir,
Kinetic energy depends upon observer or not?
yes, sir. It depends.
Okay. Kinetic energy, I can write, is observer dependent. Now, the second we have one example, let's do it. If potential energy, or you can say, if momentum of an object increases by 10%, then calculate the percentage increase in its kinetic energy. Okay, find it. Can you find this?
I'm not getting, sir.
You're not getting. Okay. Use this formula. I'm giving you a hint. Use kinetic energy is equal to P square by 2. This formula. Can you give me a minute? Just for 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So tell me, did you get now how to calculate? So just see. The question says there is an increase of 10% in momentum. That means
suppose you have initial momentum is equal to P, then final momentum is P plus 10%, means 10P by 100. So P plus 0.1P means 1.1P is the final momentum. Now, K initial you have P square by 2M. Okay, then you can say K final is 1.1 P square by 2M. So you will have 1.21 P square by 2M. So what is percentage increase? Percentage increase in kinetic energy is equal to K final minus K initial by K initial into 100. In any quantity you can find percentage increase just like that. So you have 1.21 P square by 2M minus P square by 2M divided by P square by 2M into 100. So P square by 2M is cancelled out. So you have 1.2M, 21 minus 1. You have 1 in denominator into 100. So you have 0.21 into 100. So that is 21%. So this is the answer. So there is a 21% is increase in kinetic energy. Now we have another energy which is known as actually potential energy. What is potential energy? Do you know that? Just keep on interacting. Deepak, what is potential energy? Tell me. What is potential energy? Just give me a minute. There is a noise. Just what is potential energy, Deepak?
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
it is a energy stored in an object.
It's not in an object. Potential energy is always defined for a system, not for any particular object. Okay. So you can say potential energy of a system is the energy acquired due to configuration of the system. When you configure the system, you need to do work. So the work you do to configure this system is stored in the system. So this is known as potential energy. Okay. Now, you just know this thing here means potential energy. First, we will study a concept conservative and non-conservative force. After that, we will study potential energy again. So potential energy is only, you can say, potential energy of a system is only defined for conservative forces inside the system. So now, what is conservative force? Do you know what is conservative force? Conservative and non-conservative forces. Do you know what is conservative forces? Now start with conservative force.
Yes, sir.
The name suggests that suggests the definition that whichever force is conserve energy, because we are talking about the conservative nature. So that means the energy is not dissipated. Okay, that force is called conservative force. Or if work done by a force does not depend on the path taken, it only depends on initial if work done by a force does not depend on the path taken, it only depends on initial and final points, then such forces are known as conservative force. Okay, this is the main point. If the work done by the force does not depend on the path taken, it only depends on initial and final points. Then you can say the work done, such forces are of conservative nature. What is the meaning of this? Suppose we have a block and you displace it by some external force to hide edge. So the work done by mg, if I calculate, mg is acting downward and the displacement is upward. What is the work done? Work done by mg is equal to minus mgh. Now you take the same point, but now first you go this way. Still mg is acting downward. The path is not same. It's you can say a different path. In that case, the displacement is still same. This is h vector. So now the work done is again by mg is equal to minus mg, or even path is zigzag, just like this. The final point is this. Okay, so we have H displacement. So work done, and you have mg force downward. So work done by mg is equal to minus mgh. In all the three cases, we see that the points, initial and final points are same, but the paths taken are not same, even though your work done is same. That means the work done mg, you can say, force due to gravity is a conservative force. And other examples, if I say other examples of conservative force, you can say spring force, and you can say electrostatic force, etc. One more point, work done in a round trip by conservative force is always zero. Work done in a round trip by a conservative force is always zero. What is the meaning of this? Let's understand. Suppose we have this block. I take it to this point, then this point, and finally to this point. What we see, displacement here becomes zero. So work done by gravity, if you say, is zero. Are you getting this? Deepak? Tell me. Do you have any doubt? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, then some other properties of conservative force are, so potential energy of a system is defined for the internal force, internal conservative force. Okay, whenever conservative force does work, potential energy of the system changes. Potential energy of the system changes. Means positive work. Aziza, you are late. When it does positive work, means if the conservative force does positive work, there is a decrease in potential energy. When it does negative work, increase in potential energy. Oh, sorry. Aziza, am I audible to you? Aziza, am I audible to you?
He is not there in class, sir.
Actually, you cannot see her, but I can see her.
Okay, sir.
Now the configuration is changed. You can only see yourself or me in this class, means the admins, and you cannot see other students.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
so I can see her, but she's not responding. There is no headphone or the mic symbol is marked on her profile. Ajiza, can you hear me? Yeah, now I can hear you. Ajiza, am I audible? Ajiza, am I audible? Okay. So look at this point. It's very important. When the internal conservative force, or you can say, can write internal here. Whenever internal conservative force does work, potential energy of system changes. And how it changes? Always remember that if potential energy if the work done of internal conservative force is positive, so that decreases potential. It means they are of reverse nature. Okay. Now, what is non-conservative force? Can anybody tell me? What is non-conservative force? You can say, Ajiza, am I audible? If the work done by the force depends on the path taken. Yes, Aziza? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So you are so late. Why are you so late? The classes started at 11 a.m. and you are joining this at 12:15. Almost one and
Sir,
quarter. Yeah, tell me.
there is some problem.
Okay. And where are you right now? You are in where? Manipur. Am I
Yes, sir.
correct? Okay. And in which city you are? In which city you are?
Like,
Your voice is not audible. I understand you are facing network issues. Okay, let's do the class and go to the recorded lectures. Okay, to understand the points you have left. Okay. Okay, let's see. Now we have a non-conservative force. If work done by the force depends on part taken between initial and final point, then such forces are called non-conservative. Yes, Aziz, tell me. Aziza. Yeah, sorry. Suppose there is a block. Yeah, I understand. Aziza, I understand. There's a network problem. It's okay. So go to the this recorded lecture of this one. Whatever portion is missed by you, just cover it from the recorded one. Okay. Suppose yes, this is a horizontal surface. Actually, we are watching from the air. Suppose you have this, you take a particle from this point, and displacement is s. So work done by friction, if you calculate, friction will act this way. So work done by friction in from one a to this, there is a a. So work done by friction in from 1a to, you have minus f into s. But when you take particle on this path, you will experience that this length is L. Suppose this is also S. This is also S and this is also S. So now work done from 1B2. So we will have minus friction into S for first part, minus friction into S, minus friction into S. So that is minus 3Fs. So we can observe here that when the path is changed from A to B, the work done is also changed. But here your initial point A1 and 2 both are same. So we can say there is the work done is dependent on path. Now, work done in round trip by non-conservative force is not zero. You can take the same example. Suppose this is point, this is mass m. It goes from here to this point, and here, this point, then here to this point, and here to this point. So in this case, the work done is, so the friction is F, and all the displacement is R S. So this is minus Fs, minus Fs, minus Fs, minus Fs. So the work done is minus 4 Fs. Are you getting this? That means work done is dependent on, you can say in a round trip, the work done is not zero. Work done by non-conservative forces is dissipated. Means what is the meaning of dissipation? Dissipation means you can say the the energy is converted in such form. From there, you cannot retrieve back the energy. For example, when you rub your hand, the heat energy which is generated, you cannot utilize it. Like you cannot use this heat to just boil your water or make tea or anything else. This heat is dissipated. Such type of dissipation is occurred in when the work is done by non-conservative forces. For example of non-conservative forces are friction force, viscous force, air resistance, etc. These are non-conservative forces. Calculate the work done we have such a condition. Just see. We have a point 1 and point 2. This is displacing from 1 to 2. This is 1 to 2. This is 2 to 1. If going from this A, B, and C, in A, 100 joule is worked by the force 100 joule, and in the here 100 joule. Calculate, also decide the force is conservative or non-conservative? Can you decide, Deepak? Is it conservative or non-conservative? Tell me, do you know? Can you decide that it's conservative or non-conservative? Suppose work done from 1 is 2. Going from 1 to 2 is 100 joule you have. And work done from going 1B2. The other path you have 100 joule. But work done from 1C2, you have minus 100 joule. If when you go 2 to 1, just see the arrow, it's 100. And here we have 1 to 2, we have 1 to 2. In both the cases, if we have plus, then it would be negative. So that is minus 1 joule. So you can see it depends on path. If the work done on these two paths are same, it doesn't mean that it's a you can say conservative force. There is a third path. Matlab for every each and every path, if the work done is same, that means work done is dependent on point 1 and point 2. That means it's a conservative force. But if any path doesn't uh, have on any other path, if work done is not same, that means the the force is non-conservative. So the nature is non-conservative. This is the answer. No. What is now we study potential energy. We are going to study potential energy. Yeah. Yes, Ajiza, tell me. What is potential energy? There is a question. First thing is that potential energy is defined for conservative force only. Okay, this is only defined for conservative force. The second part, yes, Aziza, tell me. Okay, I understand. If you have problem, I know this class is disturbed for you, so you can uh, take the recorded one, okay? Because I understand that this one is disturbed for you. So use the recorded lecture, okay? Now, see, what is potential energy? So potential energy, how we calculate of a system is equal to the negative of work done potential of system potential energy of a system is equal to the negative of work done by the internal conservative force in shifting the body from a reference point to the given point. This is the this is how we calculate potential energy of a system. So you can say potential energy. So U2 minus U1, that is change in potential energy, is equal to negative of work done by conservative force. This is the way we calculate, or you can say U2 minus U1. What is the work done? F dot dr from, you can say, R1 से R, from R1 to R2, and there is a negative sign because it's equal to negative of work done. Okay. So what happens generally? We take reference point reference point at infinity and reference potential U1 is equal to 0. What we take at this reference point as at infinity, okay, and the reference potential at infinity is equal to 0. So this equation can be written as U2 minus U1. So you can write U2 minus U means 0. That U2 can be written as U. So U minus 0 is equal to minus R1. R1 is infinity. R2 is R. F dot dr. That can be written as potential U is equal to minus infinity to R. F dot dr. Okay. Any doubt? Deepak?
No, sir.
Now we calculate gravitation potential energy. Okay, we will apply this concept. First one is gravitational potential energy. Suppose we have this block and and here we have Earth surface. Using external force, we take this block from ground to some height h. And we there's a force mg. Mass is mg acting below downward direction. So how we calculate? So what is the work done by mg? First tell me. Work done by gravity is equal to minus mgh. Am I correct? The mg is downward and displacement is upward. So the angle is 180 degree, means their directions are opposite. So we have this work done as minus mgh. Okay. Now what is potential energy? We say potential energy. How we calculate is U2 minus U1 is equal to minus of work done by gravity. This is how we calculate. So that means here this is your potential energy, initial potential energy. And here it's U2, final potential energy. Okay. So U2 minus U1 is equal to negative of work done by gravity, and U2 we can write as so let it U2. So this is U2 minus U1. So negative of work done by gravity is minus mgh. Okay, so we can write U2 minus U1 is equal to mgh. Now understand, that means you say when the block is lifted from the surface to some height h, the change in potential is U2, and if U1 is equal to 0, if I assume, then U2 is equal to U is equal to say mgh. So this system energy, potential energy, this is the potential energy, or you can say change in potential energy. It's not potential energy, change in potential energy of the system of block and earth. Why I am writing this? System of block and earth. Why? First thing is that potential energy is never calculated for a single particle. It is always calculated for a system. And in system, how you decide system? The objects, the internal forces due to the objects by which you can calculate. So here we have the force mg, and mg is acting because the Earth's gravitational field, or the Earth is pulling this block. So that means this force mg is between Earth and this block. That means in system you have this block and Earth. So the change in potential and energy of the system of block and Earth, this U2 minus U1 represents. So now, if I assume U1 is equal to 0, it's my assumption. It's not true, but generally we assume initial point at 0 and U2 is equal to U is equal to mg. That means you can say, if here U is equal to 0, I assume that, then here the potential energy at height h becomes mgh. Okay, so we can say here potential energy increases when one ascend and decreases when descend. Do you know the meaning of ascend? Ascend means when we move up, and descend means when we descend. So what is the meaning of this? Understand. Every point we have this reference line. We say it a reference line. Okay. And if you have this block on this reference line, so when generally you at reference, we take 0. It's assumption. You can take any value if you want. You can take 100 joule, 200 joule, but 0 is the best option because you don't need to calculate more if you have this reference value equal to 0. Now, if you go to height h, means ascend, so the potential energy here becomes mgh. And when you go to depth d, the potential energy U2 becomes minus mg into d. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, minute. Now, the second point is that potential energy at a horizontal surface is constant. What is the meaning of this? Suppose this is a surface, and suppose this is a reference, we say line, means it's a surface, and you calculate that, you assume that u reference is 0. Now, every point on reference have same potential. UA, UB, UC, UD. Every line means UA is equal to UB is equal to UC, UD is equal to 0. And when you take object from this point to any point, suppose this is E, F, G, H. Here, 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 here. Your potential at E is equal to potential at F is equal to potential at E is equal to potential at F is equal to potential at G is equal to potential at H. Are you getting my point? Deepak? Now, there's another potential energy, spring potential energy. So, whenever spring is compressed or elongated, it opposes deformation by applying restoring force. Okay. So, what is the spring potential energy? Let's calculate. Whenever it's natural length, suppose it's natural length L, and the K spring constant is K. Now, if I elongate it by distance x, okay, so there is a restoring force, and this is F external. So the work done in this case, we have already calculated. Work done by spring is equal to minus half kx square. We have already calculated work by energy, so we can say spring potential energy equal to minus of work done by spring is 0. So I have potential energy of spring as half kx square. Okay, remember this point. Okay, it's very useful. Now, there is an example. calculate gravitational potential energy of the given rod. You have this surface, and you have this rod of length L, mass M. Supposing this is your reference point, and with respect to reference, calculate the potential and gravitational potential energy of this rod. What is the value of the gravitational potential energy? Deepak, can you solve this?
I will try, sir.
Say, can you solve this?
I will try, sir.
Okay. See the first one, okay? After that, let's just try. Suppose you have this, understand, you know that if someone is kept and some point objective kept at height h, then you can write u is equal to mgh. But here it's not a point object. The mass is distributed from the surface to the topmost point. If you take small pieces, you will find that all the pieces, the height of all the pieces is continuously increasing. So we can say we will take an element at height x of dx thickness. The mass is dm, very small. So mass of element dm is mass per unit length. So mass m by l or into length of the element. So that is dx. So potential energy of this element dm can be considered as point mass. So we can write du is equal to mg, and m is dm. dmg, height is x, and dm is m by l. So we can write m by l dx to g into x. So I am rearranging it. That is equal to mg by l x dx. So total potential energy, just integrate this, we'll have mg by l x dx. Integrate from 0 to l. So that is mg by l x square by 2 from 0 to l. So u is equal to mg by l, that is l square by 2. Okay, that is the answer. So there is another method of center of mass. It's you don't require this concept of integration. You know the center of mass of any object. The center of mass is the point on which total mass of the system can assume to be concentrated. So you can, if you want to select the center of mass, this rod, you will say it is at L by 2 height from the ground, and at center mass we assume all the mass is concentrated. So just take mass m as a point mass on its center of mass, and directly you can write this is L by 2 at it is at height L by 2. This is mg, height is L by 2. This is the answer. Now you can also calculate this. Calculate the potential energy. Of given rod. This time rod is at some inclination. How will you calculate this? You can use the same concept of center of mass. Okay, you have the center. Yeah, tell me. At distance L by 2, this is the center of mass, and what is the height of this one here? If this is L by 2, so you can write this one as L by 2 sine theta. Hypotenuse from here to here is L by 2. So this is L by 2 cos theta, this one, and this one has L by 2 sine theta. So you have potential energy in this case is equal to mg into L by 2 sine theta is the answer. Yes, now tell me. Do you have any doubt, Deepak?
No, sir.
Okay. So in next class, do not actually skip the classes. Attend all the classes and be regular in the class, and be attentive also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And okay, that's all from my side. And if you want to ask anything, you can ask me. We have some 1 or 2 minutes.
No doubt, sir.
No doubt. In next class, we are going to learn the work power energy theorem. It's very important. and conservation of energy. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I think next to next it will be completed the work for energy, and after that we are going to start circular motion. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.